Good morning. Welcome to our Talks with Anthony. Today we're going to have a cyber conversation. For those that are new to the channel, we make mental health conversation and content that's going to be beneficial to your personal development in addition to your well-being, right? But in today's conversation, when we talk about medication, doesn't mean you gave up, right? So I really want to take in consideration because people out here are focused on the perception of others and how things may be for themselves and how, medication, this, medication, that. But I really want us to understand that whatever is beneficial for you is going to help you get your well-being back together, your health back together, right? Your regimen with your doctor, your pediatrician, whatever the psychiatrist is giving you, right? You want to be able to follow what's going to be good for you, right? So, taking medication is not a weakness. Like I said, it's a part of that support. So like I said, I really wanted us to take in consideration that you was beneficial for you, right? So when it comes to normalizing and reducing some shame, so many people feel guilty or shameful for taking medication for anxiety, depression, ADHD, or other types of mental health conditions. They often feel like there's pressure to handle it naturally or just push through this alone, right? I mean, medication is not easy for everybody, right? And medication also too has its history. I gotta be transparent, right? So people say they feel like a zombie, they feel this, they feel that, right? But at the end of the day, this is why you want to be able to have those conducive conversations with the doctor, right? Understand what the symptoms are. Is it long-term this? Is it long-term that? Is this something that if I stop taking, is there going to be any cravings or any triggers or what's really going? These are the conversations you want to be able to get off your chest and conversate, right? But when it comes to, like I said, struggling silently isn't a strength. We got to understand, like, closed mouths don't get what fed. People cannot understand what's going on inside your brain. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be able to advocate for yourself and kind of navigate yourself out of that survival mode by advocating for yourself. You know what I mean? Speak up, basically, right? So medication is one form of care, not measured by your worth, right? So so like I said, I just really want people to, like I said, take what's in consideration, what's going to be beneficial for you, your health, right? What's going to help you get back right. Sometimes our brain needs that support. That body chemistry is lacking something, so it needs something, a supplement to be able to help, get that body back to where it needs to be. Everybody's body is differently, and that's why I'm saying take in consideration to talk to your doctor. Moving forward in regards to psychoeducation, mental health conditions can affect the brain chemistry, energy, focus, mood, in regards to nervous system regulation. This is why it's really good to be compassionate for yourself. If you're taking medication, you have a mental health illness as well, because you can't compare yourself to the old you, right? You can't compare yourself to what things are going to look like in the future, right? All the thing that you got to do is be present, appreciate where you're at right now, accept where you're at right now, right? And just kind of keep seeking those supports as needed, right? You got to understand that there's certain aspects of your mental health condition that affects, like I said, the mood and, and different energy levels, right? But like I said, being compassionate and doing what's going to be beneficial for your capacity is going to help you have a better well-being, right? In regards to medication, it can help reduce those symptoms enough in addition to, like I said, for therapy support as well. Having a good routine, having good rest, daily functioning is going to be able to help you be more accessible. But like I said, in regards to some psychoeducation, it doesn't erase your emotions or your personality in regards to the medications. You still are you, right? However, support and coping skills still do matter, medication often is one part of the healing process, right? But it's not the medicine. You feel me? Just because you're taking a medication or you're taking some cough syrup or whatever, right? That ain't gonna just fix your problems. You know what I mean? You still have to be able to do different other things that's gonna be able to be beneficial to your well-being. For instance, we know that at least 15 minutes of walking can dramatically affect your mood and, boost you up and give you the dopamine, those good hormones in your body to make you feel good, right? So if you consistently keep doing that, right, that's going to help you have a better well-being, right? In addition to helping your health out, right? So using support for your mental health is not dependence. It's a responsive part of your need, right? So like I said, don't act like this one thing is going to be able to be the miracle that you need to be able to fix everything, right? You still got to be able to put other work into different aspects, right? But the medication is going to be definitely be beneficial with that consistency, of course, talking with that doctor. Moving forward in regards to practical reframe, right? So when we kind of have a better mindset of things and how we're able to view medication differently, it could definitely be able to be that support, right? So stop viewing medication as a resort, as a personal failure, like I did something bad, right? Like I said, your body chemistry, we can't control that, right? We don't really know what's going on internally in regards to the brain, the body, and et cetera, right? So you got to be able to understand that this is something that you may need to support. In addition to moving forward, start viewing it as a part of, as like a tool, something as stability, something, like I said, as a support that's going to be able to help you have the better well-being and health for yourself, right? So people use it as a support to their, physical health without shame, right? Mental health deserves the same compassion, right? So like I said, you got to be able to understand like what part of the brain, or just give you the answer, right? I was going to say what part of the body, right? But what part of the body is mental health, right? Is the brain, right? So you got to understand that that's the control center of the whole body, right? So if you negative, right, things are going to be not moving, right? So if you're positive, things are going to be moving accordingly, right? So try your best to have a positive mindset, but at the same time too, we need to take into consideration that we need to be seeking adequate support. Right, so taking medication can be an act of responsibility, not a defeat, right? So it's like someone's giving us a punishment. This is an act of responsibility. You staying on point, right? From the AM to the PM, you're making sure that you're taking care of your levels, right? Some people out here have diabetes. They got to be able to, you know what I mean, make sure they have an adequate meal, right? This is a responsibility, right? Some people out here are, you know, decent health, but they're not doing things in a responsible way to take care of their body, right? And just because you see them the way they are right now doesn't mean that you don't know what they got going on for their future, right? Only thing we know is within ourselves, right? So take care of yourself. You know what I mean? To the AM, to the PM, make sure you're getting your adequate rest, you're getting those supports, right? You're eating the proper meals, you're putting the healthy stuff in your body, you're working out, right? You're getting the sunlight on your body. You know when enough's enough when it comes to that work-life balance, right? You know what I mean? Self-care, doing what's beneficial for you, do things that's gonna make you happy, right? Increasing your mood, right? Gratitude, right? People come and go, but we gotta understand, like, you know what I mean? Like, appreciate the company, socialize, let's, you know what I mean? Like, let's really kind of keep that positive mindset, right? And that's really gonna be able to help us be that support. So like I said, medication doesn't have to, you know, have you in that mindset of, you know, you gave up on yourself, right? This is something that you happen to do to decide in regards to you deserve that support. This is going to be able to help you maintain, right? In regards to, like I said, micro action, because when we have a positive mindset, we tend to do better, right? So notice any judgment that is holding you towards yourself or others around that medication, what's really going on, right? And like I said, you always can ask for that support. You can ask for answers, right? So seek that consultant, seek that appointment for those questions, right? Let's move forward in regards to, like I said, replacing that shame-based thoughts with the neutral supportive language, right? Can this help me? What are the pros? What are the cons? Like I said, speak to the doctors about that. Focus on the helping of the function. Focus on coping skills. What's going to help you also too, like outside of the medication, what can you do to cope, right? Also to ask, is there any healthy natural remedies? You know what I mean? Really do your research, really, you know what I mean? Consult with the doctors, right? And do what's going to be beneficial for a safer life for yourself. Just wrapping up this video, accepting support is, like I said, is not a weakness. Taking medication is not a weakness. This is a part of your self-care. This is going to be able to help your health in addition to your well-being, right? If you found this video beneficial, give it a thumbs up, share if possible. Take it easy.